Grand Rising, our beautiful family out there. How are you all doing? We are praying that everyone is having a blessed day full of love and light, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you find yourselves. We're about to set it on fire today, like we always do. You know how we do. You know how we do. Everyone that is watching this on replay, please put hashtag replay in the comment box. Any questions, comments, and concerns or aha moments you get from today, because you know we read them and we will get back to you and make it part of the show. Let me welcome, our hostesses with the mostesses. Yes, I do it like that. I do it like that. DeAnna, aka Sunshine, is here to set your soul on fire. And also Jessie, aka Phoenix, ready to set it off. Are you guys ready? Are you all ready for this?
Yes.
You know how we do. You know how we do. Born ready. Yes. And everyone, I know we just tickled your curiosity yesterday when we put up the post. Like, wait. What's this? Grow with the flow. Please help me, everyone. Welcome our brother of the light. Yes, ready to set your all souls on fire with love and holy zeal. Here to tell us about what is the flow? What is the flow? David Bey. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
Awesome laughter and joy. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Thank you for everyone as far as where we are in the world. Buenos dias, buenos dias. Sawadee Kap to my friends in Thailand. Just thank everyone for having me here. I really appreciate this fire opportunity to join the goddesses this morning and to share this space virtually. Again, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. When I was meditating this morning, something came through. And it occurs anytime. Meditation happens whenever we're doing anything. So I just got finished brushing my teeth. I was, and I'm thinking, and it went boom. It said that when you have to prepare to be yourself, you're not being yourself. I went, what? I said, well, I will say, thank you, Father, for that. Prepare me for the show, because something's about to happen. Something's about to get dropped. And you see, everyone, what Dee had placed into the description about growing with the flow. David, could you tell us what is this flow and how does it help us to be ourselves? How does it help us to be ourselves?
All right, I'd like everyone to first feel the flow.
Take
a deep breath and release. We'll do it 2 more times. Taking a deep breath and release. And 1 more. Taking a deep breath and release. Welcome to the flow. So, without getting into words, I always like to create the experiential reality that the flow is all around us. It's on all the elements. And I became aware of the flow at an early age, around 16, 17. I was introduced to the concept of the flow through martial arts. I remember my grandmaster said, there's going to become a time where you practice, where you're going to embody these techniques, where you're no longer thinking about them, you're actually executing them with some form of perfection. Because you're no longer thinking, so that process is out the window. You're now feeling what to do. And sometimes people, how is this person so fast? Because they feel what's going on. And it opens up your awareness even greater. I was later introduced to the flow in Tai Chi. And in Tai Chi, there's a stage, and also Zen Qigong, it was around the same time frame. In Zen Qigong, there's a state, our original way of being is nothingness. And they say that nothingness meaning there's nothing there. It means it's the essence where all things come from. It's undefined by form and fashion, but it has a fluid nature of how it exists. And then through the movements, all we're doing is releasing all the oppositions that we have inside and allow ourselves to connect with the flow and be moved by the flow. I later was experiencing the flow when I decided to do something very similar to the Aborigines in Australia when they do a walkabout. You just go without any intention. Well, you have the intention of moving, but you're not thinking about where you need to be. You're actually moving with a being, with the being. Wow. And you're moving in nature, and you're allowing yourselves to be humble to nature and say, hey, nature, what do you want me to be at this time? I had an experience one time. I was essentially lost. I'm in a new place, speaking very little language, and I find myself, everything I planned was unplanned. Everything I thought was going to happen didn't happen. And it was the most beautiful thing I ever experienced in my life. I surrendered. I had those come to me and say, are you okay? Do you need anything? Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to sleep tonight. Oh, or aren't you staying here? No, my intention was to go to this place. It was my first trip in Brazil. And I'm there, and I planned to go to this temple, and the temple, no one know where it was. And they're like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't know where that place is. I'm like, huh? I gave you the address. We don't know where that is. And this angel came up and he said, brother, welcome. Where are you from? To the US. He said, where are you staying? He automatically went to what was my situation. He said, where are you staying? I said, well, I wanted to go to this place. He knew the place. And he said, I don't think you should go there at this time of night if you're not familiar with the area. It's dark, and some areas could be a little dangerous if you're not familiar. I'm like, oh, didn't know that. He said, he gave me a recommendation. I took the recommendation. I wind up, because we weren't staying in that one city for one day. I remember just before all of this happened, how I surrendered. I went down, I remember looking up at the moon. I was down, but I could hear the sea. And I said, well, Creator, you got me here. So I know I'm supposed to be. Now, I know that whatever I thought I was supposed to do is out the window. So I'm going to listen to what you tell me to do. Then I got silent, and I heard a voice say, go back inside and just wait. And that was my tangible, hands-on experience with the flow.
Wow. Wow.
I'm gonna ring the bell because I'm in a portal.
Yeah.
I was experiencing when I surrendered for the first time, because it was to the moon. So I'm like, what?
Yes.
It was to the moon. It was to the moon. So I'm excited to keep going.
Wow.
Wow.
So, recently I just took a trip in my spaceship across the US to
I love that.
rejuvenate and to connect with the earth. There's so many energies going on right now. As we all know, we don't have to rehash that. It's a lot of energy. And I would say with spiritual intelligence, when we are listening, we're probably being all prompted, every human being on the planet are being prompted where to be at this time and how to be. So earlier when we started breathing, it's important that we exercise stillness to be able to be in the flow. And it's no hard mechanics. You don't have to do it for hours. Although if you do, there's a huge benefit. Wink, wink. It's
I'm
a-
just saying.
but I went on this journey and it was very similar. I'll say this, because I listened, and this is to encourage everyone. When you listen, there's a huge gift given to you by the all of creation that it's literally sitting there waiting in your spiritual bank, waiting for you to make a withdrawal. And you just got to be in silence and get it. And when you receive it, it'll tell you exactly where you need to be, how you need to be, and what you're going to navigate. It's amazing. And I'm not making this up. This is not some sci-fi, although I do like sci-fi, but it's real. It's so real. Everyone calls it intuition. I had a feeling. I knew that was going to happen, right? Now, oftentimes when we say that, it's after the fact.
Whoa.
So my encouragement is, don't let it just be something that passes by that you say, oh, that happens now and then. It could be every moment of your day. When you become still, before you take an action, when you become still and listen, what is the next moment for me right now? Oh, let me talk about that, or let me share this, or let me do this. It could be the most basic thing. It's just like, in the beginning, you may not be sure, and it's all right. It's all right if you're not sure. That's part of the process. Just keep listening and keep listening. You have to be curious. You have to have wonder. Children do this all the time, and we want to keep encouraging them. I know you feel this. You ask them, what do you feel about this? It'll actually help us to remember too. Ask a child, so what do you feel about this? Oh, and then they'll go into the zone so fast. You'll be like, what? I used to be able to do that. All right, let me return. Let me return.
Oh my God, David, that is what's going on with me and Zoe. Like I'm remembering so much because of her. She's actually my recent trainer, my recent angel. And yeah, watch out, because so this morning, guys, before you keep going, David, because it's speaking so loud, because we've been speaking about this for quite some time about, your children being your guides and your children coming here to help you along the way of your journey. And, recently I started taking care of her because her grandmother is in the spiritual world, and she's put me back into her life so that I can guide along the way. So I could be the translator between her and her mother. But last night I told her mother, I said, look, I want to be very honest with you now, because I am elevating into a different realm here. Your mom wants you to know that all the messages that you are hearing from Zoe, from Bella, and from Gabby, they're all true. So please listen to them. Please start taking actions towards that, because she already went through your dreams. She sent you messages with other angels. Like her mom sent her message with like strangers, like people that she's never known before. Same message, different angel. So yesterday I said, finally, that's it. Your mom is not playing any games. Okay. She's not playing any games. She wants you to tap into that birthright, babes. So that's it. So she's been training me, and she told me, Tia, this morning, she's like, Tia, I'm gonna introduce you to all my fairies tomorrow, all of them, the boys and the girls. So I said, ooh, that's happening for all of us tomorrow. So that is what we're prepping for. So I'm excited, and I'm excited that you said that, because it is truly about remembering and knowing that we have it, but sometimes it's a little bit, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Tiffany. Welcome to the party. Yes.
Hey, Tiff.
We welcome you.
Thank you so much for being here. Let's keep on this conversation. I wanted to chime in a little bit because it's so inapt with everything that we've been speaking about. And I'm so excited to hear it from a male perspective, because it's, like I haven't had it in a personal boom, and it's very, very, thank you so much.
Oh, it's
Yes.
and we're about to go in.
Yes.
We're about to go in, my friends. You know, so people may be listening, they might be jumping on right now saying, all right, so said something about the flow, but I don't know, I don't understand this stuff. You know, sounds esoteric and sounds this. All right, maybe it does, and we acknowledge that. It's natural. Water, what does it do? Flow. Electricity, what does it do? Flow. What does air do? We call it what? Airflow. There's so many examples. Maybe we don't pay attention sometimes, or we get busy with the things we constructed in our lives and we get in, you know, out of the flow and we may not see it as significant. But I tell you, everyone here will know this: no air, no life.
Oh.
It's that simple. So there's no magical, mystical stuff here. This is real. We need air. We need water. And if we just focus on these two elements, they're also within us. We took air in our nostrils, went into our navel cavities, and it then filled our lungs, down into our diaphragm. And we recycled that air back into the atmosphere, right? So think about it. Why are we doing this? Why do we need air, right? I look at it this way. Air is an element that is life. It's a part of the universal life. And it helps us, when we focus on it, it helps us to remember that we are connected to every living being on this planet, because we all share the same element. It also lets us know that we're no more important than another being. We all are here cohabitating. It also helps us, if we focus on it, to understand how we should honor everyone, period. No air, no life, right? So there's a lot of aspects that we can go into, but I also like to encourage everyone to go try it out for yourself and see. Just focus your attention on, wow, I have air. You know, he said no air, no life. So one, gratitude comes up. You know, someone may be dealing with asthma and it's hard for them at times to breathe. You appreciate air at that time when you're sucking air like it's coming through a straw. You have a different relationship with air. Or if you climb a mountain and you notice being in a higher altitude where the air is lighter and it's hard to breathe. It's seriously hard to breathe. I know from personal experience. I'd never experienced anything like that in my life. I'm like, whoa, I can't breathe. And it's important for us to, why is it important for us to focus on this? You know, we do have a busy livelihood. We do these things for our livelihood. We do that for our livelihood. It's to help us to remember. I remember one time hearing a teacher say, the reason why there's so much agony and bitterness is because we're ungrateful for what we have.
Wow.
If we just take a moment to be grateful for the basic things that we have, then we won't allow ourselves to fall off into agonizing behavior, angry behavior, or even rage. And then we can understand why it's important for us to maintain, yeah, we do have these emotions, we do exercise them. I just say, don't stay in them longer than 3 minutes.
That is awesome.
we have
Yes.
just say to myself,
Wow.
I have permission to be angry for 3 minutes. Get it out and move it on. Let it flow. No.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Hey, child. You had your space, had your time. Good. Yes.
Thank you for saying that. Yes. 3 minutes to cry,
Yes.
ugly cry, and then that's it. Release it to the flow. That's it.
That's
But
it.
take care of it or recycle it for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let
Yeah.
it transmute. Let it transmute into light. Done. I'm good. And move on. Yes. It's something that you mentioned, if I could just segue in here for a minute, because that hit when you spoke about gratitude. Yesterday when I was walking, I was like, I'm breathing. And I was touching the trees and I was thanking them. Thank you for the air. Thank you. And speaking to them. And as I went through a grove of trees, I was like, I'm breathing. We take so much for granted because we get stuck in this physical plane. We get stuck in this physical, like everything is like this, getting. And you know, we have our lives, like you said, and we get really stuck and we don't remember, you know. But that, and I did, and I say did, suffer asthma. It was called adult asthma. It came on late in my life. And I had those moments where I was sucking through a straw. And it's something how something has to occur to get you to recognize it and appreciate it. I remember times walking and I thought I was actually about to leave my form. Nothing was coming through. People had to sit me down, talk to me. I had to just close my eyes and go deep. That's how much my body could not breathe for itself. So I had to go deep. I had to go really deep to get myself to breathe on a spiritual level until my body was able to reconnect. In that moment, I had such gratitude, but then I thought afterwards, I'm breathing now. Do you think about it? Do you say thank you? That hit like a ton of bricks.
Or a gust of wind.
A gust of wind. Yeah, a gust of
wave of water.
Yeah, you all feel that current go through you. Whoosh. Oh, praise Allah. Wow.
Yes,
David, you said something. If I want to go back a little bit. One word that you said the basic things. I think, in my perspective, I think that is the issue. We put them in a box of something basic and not magnificent, the extraordinary, the on fire. I can breathe today. What? I got water. What? I can skip down the street. What? We have to just don't label something less than it is. You know, we're taught that, you know, that, okay, oh, that was just a little win. No, that was an explosion. What you talking about? So I want to share with our listeners that flip that perspective, change your language. Don't limit yourself with your language. You know, tap into what you truly are, because there's nothing basic about any of us, right? I mean, just our body is magnificent, and that's just the meat suit. Don't talk about your true self, right? So nothing basic about you, nothing basic about you. What are your thoughts on that, David? I want you to talk some more on that, if you will.
That's actually a really great point, and I'm glad that you made that distinction. And, you know, language does create reality. Self-actualization is a real thing, as I say, as it is. And I use the word basics maybe from a mechanical standpoint, not a experiential standpoint, because yes, it is magnificent. And it's an introduction to say, hey, it's not hard. Because I do hear people say in different contexts, that's hard to do. That's hard to do. It's hard to meditate. It's hard to meditate. I'm like, well, try this. Try this, as we were saying in martial arts. Try this. It's more like a base move. It's a base. So the languaging is more so base than basic. It is a root word of basic, but it's a base. It's a foundation where you establish. Then from there you grow with the flow. That's how you grow. I was just reflecting yesterday. I was watching something, and there was an expression about someone trying so hard to impress others. And my takeaway was, you know, in silence, we can do more than we can through language, right? And when we honor, because it takes breath to make sound, when we honor this reality, when I speak, I create reality. When I speak, I create. So if I'm in a place of silence and I'm being mindful of what comes out, when I speak back into the atmosphere using the air element, I take my essence in vibration and put it into the air element, and it travels into the atmosphere. Eventually it becomes a reality, and we may forget it, but it does become a reality. And you can test this out. You can test this out for yourself. It's actually documented. I mean, there's anywhere from scientific methodology to spiritual methodology, through monks, through even government programs have actually experimented and literally documented this. So we all know it's real. It's pretty much, we just have to align ourselves with this reality. Language, I'm really big on language. Languaging, not just a language. I'm speaking Spanish, French, this. We have a mental language, a language of creation as well. And so words also are interpretive. There's group analogy to words. There's connotations. There's how we all group accept words. We can create a new word and all say, hey, we're going to use the word flow. And then it becomes the vernacular everyone uses, right? We can start saying this. We can say this right now. I'm going to introduce flow as a word that I use in my conversations. How is your day? It's flowing well. Instead of saying it's going well, it's flowing well, right? What the flow is going on with you?
I love that. I'm typing in chat. Affirm. What the flow is going on with you?
I told you we going in, y'all. We going in.
Deep diving. Deep diving. Wow.
I'm going to share this. And thank you. Thank you. Can I just call you D? Because I heard you earlier refer to D. So D, that is very mindful that you were sharing that, because oftentimes, and this is part of us disassociating with the magnificence of oneself as well. We sort of denature ourselves through our language and say we're less than. And there's a lot of different languages that we accept. And we're not aware of this because it's actually a programming. There is a reality, and we have to be real about this. Just because the majority of people are using this language, you do not have to apply that language to your reality.
Yes.
I'm going to use two words and you'll really get it. Minority and majority, right? You hear so many, oh, we're the minority, we're the majority. And that game is foolishness. It doesn't create even flow. Why? Because the moment that I say something is less than, then I discredit its validity for its being. And I may not think I'm doing it, but you are. Drop it. It has no place. Why are you using it? It's not, oh, because the numbers, what difference does it make that this group over here is this number? So where's that going to get you eventually? Separation? There's no flow in that. It's like taking the tube of air. If you've ever been in a hospital, or if you've been on that ventilator, Angela, I know you know that respirator, and they put it on there and they're like, breathe in deep. I can't still breathe. It's like someone pinched the tube and say, I'm gonna give you a little. I'm gonna just give you a little because you're maybe in the majority or the minority. This thinking leads to, actually, unfortunately, leads to unproductive ways of being. And those are just two words that people are using all the time. Or here's another one. Oh, this one you hear a lot. Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Oh.
All I can do is laugh because I've said that. And then I hate it when other people do it. And then I've said it. And then, like you said, no matter if you think that you're not creating your reality, you are. So, woo.
All the time, manifesting all the time.
I'll put in the chat for everyone to close your eyes and soak this in. Soak it in, guys. Just sit. Don't even chat. Just close your eyes and just
Just
tap
soak it
into this.
Yeah. I wanted to go back a little bit because the book that we were talking about yesterday, it has so much to do with this conversation about being impactful with your words.
Oh,
Mm.
yes.
And yeah. Oh yeah, that's the book of life for me right now. So I'm going on and on and on, and it's amazing. I want everybody to read it because it's life changing.
Highly recommended.
What book?
The Four
And the
Agreements.
author.
Okay, I'll type it in the chat. I'm keeping you guys on point. What book? Because I
Yes.
wasn't there. It could be someone didn't hear you. Come on now. Don't assume.
We transmitted. I knew what she was saying, and she knew that I knew
She
this.
did.
She knew that I knew what she was saying.
In the flow, it got transmitted.
Yeah, that book is very essential to everyone. It really helps build our relationships with one another. You know, do as you say you're going to do. Be impeccable with your word. That'll eliminate so much misunderstanding. I thought you said you would want to be here. What? No, I didn't say. You didn't say a specific time. And if that time changes, you just communicate. Hey, listen, something else came up, and I'm in a different flow right now. I'll be back in flow. And I just, you know, I'm flowing there now. I'm on the way. All right, great. Because people feel what they feel, and you got to acknowledge that. Some people, you know, they have a story too, and you want to be present to where people are. And, you know, flow in action looks like this. I said I was going to be there at 10 o'clock. I didn't show up at 10 o'clock, and I didn't call. Well, it's going to shift the flow for someone, you know. Figure for a child, that's going to impact them a certain way. And for a teenager, it's going to impact them a certain way. And for an adult, it's going to impact them a certain way. So mindfulness also is a part of the flow. It's like, how is this going to be for the other person? And when we become aware of that, we can then just look at ourselves and grow at the same time, because we can get unstuck with our own patterns, things we say, oh, that's my way of doing things. Well, maybe your way isn't flowing well for others. And it really helps us to be more understanding. And a lot of times we have conflicts in our relationships because there's a missing of understanding. You know, a lot of the Buddhist teachers would say compassion is essential for one's development. And it also helps one to be free and alleviate all sufferings. Alleviate your sufferings and then alleviate the sufferings of others. You know, so a lot of times we do see sufferings of our own and we're like, I don't know what to do. I hear when I'm coaching individuals, I'm like, oh my goodness, man, it's really going through it. Whoo, man, I'm like, man, just breathe for a minute. Just, I know that's a lot. Yeah, I acknowledge that. And I'm feeling you, man, that's heavy. And I know right now you might be feeling that I don't know how to get out of this, but right now, let's be present to that you're here and you're breathing, and let's try to find some pathway to gratitude. Let's find some way to shift the energy. We cannot find a solution in anger. It's not possible. We can't find a solution in being disappointed or frustrated. It's not possible. We offset our ability to connect inside the flow and allow our souls to speak to us and give us the wisdom we need to be able to move the way we need to move in that moment. You know, why is this important to me? Because I suffered greatly. I suffered where I thought I was losing my mind. And I was going through a training. I learned later, I was going through a training. And I will say this, anyone who is having a very challenging time, I would like you to shift your mindset that I'll use my context of martial arts. You can use a context of athlete. You can use a context if you've been through any type of formal training or informal training. In the beginning, it's very challenging, and it should be, because it's pushing out any old ideas or any patterns that are not suitable to the new instructions. So for me, I was going through a lot of different challenges at the time and I'll get real with this because, you know, in truth, there's honesty, there's compassion, and compassion, there's love. I was going through at a time in 2008, my mom's health wasn't well. I just lost my job, which I was loving. And I just signed up. I had just purchased my home, and my son was with me, and I was so excited to have him in his, you know, preparing for his next year in school. So I had all these big moments occurring in my life. And could you imagine, you know, the first tear that was happening was with my mom. Her health was failing. And I was like, huh? And it was like, it was an emergency. And that was a big shift. In fact, it was like the second day of my day of employment where I got that call. And I was like, I had to fly back to Philadelphia. I was living in Atlanta at the time. It was a very challenging time. And, you know, I was suffering through trying to keep my homes. I had 2 homes at the time. I'm like, what is going on? Everything was set up. It seemed like everything was set up and then it wasn't. It was like a flip of a switch, not a year. I'm talking about within months, everything fell apart. And I fell into depression. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. This doesn't make any sense. I dropped out. My friends were like, they didn't know where I was. And they're like, I just went into a dark space. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. I'm doing all the right things. And then I remember speaking to one teacher and he said, just keep practicing. I had a practice at that time that kept me stabilized. Every morning, I do my obligatory prayers 3 times a day, fixate my mind, focus on that moment. In those moments, I wasn't worried about anything. I was giving thanks and giving prayers. And I just held that space for a long time. I did not see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll be honest, I did not see the light at the end of the tunnel. It looked dark. The more I fought, the darker it looked. I was literally fighting the bank for my house. I can't believe I got to fight the bank. Why can't you help me? What is going on? I remember I called up a friend of mine because I was over the edge. And he reached out to me. Actually, he reached out to me and he said, Brother Bey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. And I told him, bro, it's not good. And he heard the vibration in my voice and he said, what the bleep is wrong with you? You're the person that everyone goes to get inspired, to get fired up. You can't be like this. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, I'm going through stuff. He says, no. You can't be like this. This is not you. I'm taking you to lunch. He took me to lunch. We had a conversation. I told him what was going on. He slammed his hand on the table. He said, bleep. I don't know anyone who's going through anything like this all at the same time. But I tell you what, brother, there must be something big. There must be something big because this is not happening for nothing. This is not happening for nothing. I assure you, this is happening for a bigger reason than you know. And after that, he's like, in his funny thing, he said some funny words, and then he's like, I'm not going to say it because it's not airworthy, not PG. But he said something to create laughter. I'll put it like that, and I was cracking up, and he's like, all right, it worked. And so we were having fun with that, and then we just took a walk, and then I said, all right. And then I started to get into the surrender mode, and I surrendered, and I surrendered, and I surrendered. And one day I just said, that's it. I'm not giving up, but I'm giving this away. I'm no longer holding on. And the moment I did that, and I tell you, everything changed overnight.
I'm gonna ring the bells. I'm gonna ring the bells.
Please,
Get in here, you know it.
Everything changed. The most amazing thing happened to me. It was beyond my comprehension. What I was about to experience was beyond my comprehension. When I surrendered, I gave back the houses. I told the bank, that's it, I'm done. I was like, the only thing I wanted to keep my car. I talked to one of my friends. He said, bleep it, just keep moving. We'll get this done. He was a tax attorney, and he was like, we'll figure this out and get you set up. Boom. He moved me on. And I remember everything was like clockwork. I was sitting, I was in a new place because I met this lady who said, hey, where are you going to move after this? I said, I don't know. I don't know anything right now. All I know is I'm here. And I had a smile on my face, and she's like, looking at me like, that don't make any sense. You about to be homeless. And it was the truth. I don't know where I was going. And I said, I have faith that it's going to be all right. I really do. And then she said, hey, I have this townhouse. I can rent you this space down at the bottom. It's got its own situation. I was like, all right, I accept. She's like, really? You didn't see it yet? I was like, I accept. After I accepted that, the next thing that occurred after this, I get a call from a person I worked with that I really didn't know really well, but he thought about me, and I hadn't seen him in literally about a year and a half. And he reached out to me and said, hey, David Bey, I was thinking about you, and I'm working at this agency, and I've been talking about you in the meetings, and they want to meet you. What? And he closed it off by saying, and don't worry about it, they'll pay your rate. Huh? I went in there. It wasn't even an interview. It was like an ℼ𝐼𝐿𝐸𝐿. I went in there, like the manager, he said, the creative director said, I just really wanted to meet you. Jeremy had been talking about you for almost damn near a year now. So we were just like, get this guy in here, and when can you start? He said, so when can you start? We'll send you down to HR and sign you up so you get your 1099 situation. I was like, what? What? It didn't stop there. Now I'm like working there for a couple months. I'm like, man, it's like everybody's like, I'm like, this is the best atmosphere I've ever, well, one of the best atmosphere I worked in the corporate environment like this as a contractor. I'm like, this is sweet. Now they're asking me, hey, would you be interested in coming on full time? I'm like, I'll consider that. I said, well, let's hold that thought. I'll consider that. I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I just knew at that time not to say anything, but to just say, I'll consider it. Little did I know the universe was orchestrating something much more magnificent than I had planned or even imagined. Somehow I get an email through LinkedIn from a headhunter for a corporate position. All of a sudden, start getting these emails. Then I just like, oh, this is fun. I'll start responding. I responded to a company that I would have loved to dream. I dreamed to have worked at this place long time ago. Company out of Germany, big design agency. I would love to have worked for this company. I actually applied. I'm like, I'm going to do it. Hey, why not? I didn't worry about the outcome. I just was in the flow. I was playing with the flow. I was like, I'm just going to have fun. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. I'm just having fun. Take my cues right now. I did it to have fun. No, I wasn't committed to anything but just enjoy the process. And then I jumped into it. And then I get the email back from the directing manager of that agent, of that company. He said, his name is also David. I got your, he actually wrote a personal email, not this, stamped and say, thank you for sending in, blah, 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 we'll get back to you. He said, hey, thank you he said, I looked over your work. I really enjoyed what you have. He said, there's only one thing. I was really looking for you to have some experience in Java code scripting. I'm like, don't have that. He said, but if there's another opportunity for this to show up again, I will keep you in mind. And I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I was celebrating that. I'm like, you know what? I didn't even know that was going to happen. I kept playing the game until one day I get an email from a headhunter from China. And I thought it was a joke. I was like, this somebody's playing with me. This ain't real.
You got fun.
What? So I was like, whatever. I sent my resume and sent some samples. Then I get an email. Hey, we would like to have a Skype interview with you. What? This is a joke, right? So I was like, all right, I'm playing the game. Listen, just play the game, man. Just play the game. I played the game. Then after I had the interview, they were like, all right, we're going to speak to the CEO. And then if he has some questions, we're going to pose an email. And after that, if that's good, then we're going to give you we're going to send an official letter of acceptance and a salary proposition and everything. I'm like, huh? This is actually happening? I was like, what in the world is happening here? Fast forward. I told them, they were like, all right, great. When can you be here? Huh?
That's all he got.
Now I'm pinching myself like, not only this is happening, they're like, we want you to buy a ticket, a one-way ticket and get here.
Right, tomorrow.
One way.
It was almost like, and we want you here in December. I'm like, that's too soon.
I thought y'all was playing.
They wanted me to be there before the New Year, the Lunar New Year. And so they were like, I was like, I can't come that soon. I gotta prepare. I got all these things to adjust. So I said, I can promise to be there by February 28th or something like that, February 26th. All right, we'll make that work. I'm on a plane, one-way ticket to China. I went from dark, suffering, no flow, no go, no nothing, to a mind-blowing experience working abroad in China, which blew away any concepts of anything that was going on at all.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring the bells and say wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow to the wow, wow, wow.
The whole family of bells.
Yes,
I know.
All of them.
Yes.
Whoa.
David, they're going crazy in the chat. They're like, what? What? You know me, I'm like, I said, I play the game, whoop, whoop. And I'm like, affirm right now, affirm this. I do it to have fun and don't attach to the outcome. Woo, I'm telling y'all. So affirm, I am love, I am compassion, I am gratitude. I play the game.
I play the game.
I do not give up. And then I hand it off. Hand it off. Hand it off.
Yes.
Hand it off.
And watch the universe blow your mind.
I put that in the chat too. I already put that in the chat.
Oh man, what? I'm fired. This is the reason why I have to mute myself, David, because I get really in the flow when I hear things that are very, I'm like, what? Yes, that is happening. I am so excited. Wow, my spirit, my soul, everybody is like, yes, 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 yes. Do you see it? I'm like, yes, yes, yes.
Can you feel it?
You feel it? Yes, yes, yes. Hold on.
Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Can you
Yes. Can you feel it?
I know. I know.
Yes.
You gotta feel it.
Wow.
I think Les Brown, when he did one of his talks, he said, you gotta feel it. You just can't believe it. You gotta feel it.
Man, if that does not raise your vibration, okay, so if you're not in a high vibe mood, find Les Brown, find that clip and just play it.
Yeah, play it.
Get you on fire.
It'll get you on fire. It'll reconnect. Oh, it'll plug you back in.
Wow. I love him. You gotta be hungry. I love his voice.
Hungry.
It's like a boom.
It's him speaking about you got to be hungry.
That's my favorite one.
You got
That's
to be
my favorite one.
Woo! I had to take a little
Oh my
breath.
God.
I'm grateful. I'm here. I am present.
Praise
I am.
God. Praise God. Yes.
You know, it's real. It's real.
All the way
And I
along.
shared that not just, just to say, hey, this is good for me. This is good for you too.
I know that's right. Yes.
This is good for you too. And I wanted to make us real. I'm not just here, suffering has purpose. It has a purpose. Right now I am a practicing Buddhist, and we have a different perspective on suffering than most people. We feel pain. If you pinch me with a knife, I'm going to feel pain. Right. And if you keep doing it, it's going to be suffering.
Oh, for you, because you don't be just be stabbing me with a knife. Sorry.
Exactly. You said the thing, keep on, right? Suffering is allowing it to continue.
Wow. Wow. Say that again.
Suffering is allowing it to continue. So yeah, we all going to feel pain. We have that spectrum. Remember, we got all these feelings in our body, these synapses. Pain has a purpose. Just don't let it continue. I'm talking about physical pain also, and mental pain, anguish. Find yourself around positive movement, people, exercise, anything, positive movement. We know about negative polarity. We know about positive polarity. We look at atoms and we look at the functions of atoms. We do need positive and negative that create movement. So positive and negative, don't think of it as good and bad. Suffering is us not being able to let go. It's being able to, we see ourselves in it. It's like putting on the brakes to a fast moving car, but it's not stopping. All that feeling, all them sensations, this should be stopping and it's not. Something is, I need to do something different. So if we find ourselves, or when we find ourselves, we feeling a pain of an incident and we're not knowing what to do, I assure you, on this earth, there is a solution. And to become curious as fast as you can to go find a solution. You don't have to be the one that knows, but someone does know. Someone knows what to do. And you, hey, you got these beautiful sisters here bringing on these amazing guests from all walks of life. If you don't know what to do, ask them. Get on here and start asking questions and say, hey, I'm dealing with this. Get truthful with it. We can't have compassion and understanding if you're sitting in the corner by yourself and don't open up your mouth. It's important to also let people know what's going on. My friend spoke to me because I shared with him, and he was able to give his energy to me to start breaking up my stuckness. We're going to get stuck. It's all right. Don't blame yourself. Don't think you already know what to do. We're not always going to know what to do. It's all right. And you know what? We hear this. We're not meant to be in silos. Human beings are meant to be in communal experiences. Let's not forget that. If we were supposed to go through our experiences alone, then there's only one person benefiting. But when someone witnessed me going through something and then coming out of it, it moves us. We watch those movies when the person is having a hard time and you're sitting there, go, don't give up, don't give up. You're almost there. Don't do it. Oh my God, he did it. She did it. She broke through. We get all excited. We're watching a movie. We also do that for our friends and family. We're rooting them on. Why? Because that helps us too.
Yes. Praise Allah. When you alleviate someone else's pain, you help yourself. Wow. Wow. We have a question for you. The question for you, and thank you. It is our articulate gent interiors. His name is Samuel, friend of mine. He has this question. My question for David is, what was playing in your mind when you were going through your dark day? Wow.
Yeah.
Great question, Sam.
That's actually an amazing question. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I had layers of thinking and it was not productive. So I will preface with this. I went through 3 different stages. The first stage I went through was disappointment. I was disappointed that this should not be happening. I do a lot of good things in this world. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? I don't understand. I started to drift to a place of forgetting myself. I started to get into a thinking of, maybe I don't deserve this. Maybe this is why this is happening. I started to think, maybe I'm the problem. Then I went to frustration. I became very frustrated. I even share this when I do my mind training courses, that we move through these 3 stages. We have this idea in our head that things should go a certain way, and when it doesn't, the first time we get disappointed. I got disappointed. I thought things were great, and it changed. So naturally or unnaturally, I went to disappointment. Then I became frustrated because I didn't like the situation and I wanted it to stop. And I became very frustrated. And every day, and my thinking was, I'm going to get them back. They shouldn't be doing this to me. I've been paying on time. I've been doing this. I've been compliant. I even been calling up, ahead and saying, hey, what's the next thing? I felt defeated. I was feeling, notice I'm not saying thinking, I'm talking about feeling, because this is even more deeper when you get to the feelings thing. I was embedding inside my feeling space that I felt defeated because everything I was doing didn't seem to be working. And then I became angry. Then I got stuck. I felt stuck. My thinking was stuck. I didn't see a solution. I couldn't feel a solution. I was disconnected from my soul wisdom being transmitted. I didn't rest well at night. I gained weight. Everything was off base. I felt lost. I felt lost. And then when I was in that lost space, it was like, if you ever been in a boat and you didn't have a motor on, you're just moving with the waves, and something else was moving you, but you didn't understand where you were going, there's a feeling inside of you, you're like, this is really bad. And everything inside you is on alert. This is really bad. And I was moving through all these different expressions that I would say I wouldn't normally experience on an everyday. And that's where I was at that time. And that's what made me appreciate even more when the thing started shifting. The gratitude came in like lightning. Because I was like, oh, this is what this is about. I couldn't see any old patterns without being usurped out of this through a pressurized situation. It was old patterns, old behaviors, old thinking that I wasn't even aware of, was in the background, sitting in the corners, in the shadows. And I was like, oh.
Can you see me now? Can you see it now? Wow.
Yeah. Then I realized, my mantra was like, suffering is good. I know that sounds crazy. Suffering is actually, this is from a lot of people say, oh, the Buddhists always talk about the suffering. But it opens your awareness. It really does open your awareness. The infamous or the famous Buddha that most people associate with is Siddhartha Gautama. But there were many Buddhas. He was one of a lineage of Buddhists. As a matter of fact, each one of us has the potential of becoming a Buddha, an enlightened being. And his observation was the suffering of others, and to the point he's like, he had a great life. He was a prince, so he lived in riches. He had no need for anything. His father, like, I don't want my son to need anything, and I don't even want him to see anything bad. So his father, like, never set foot outside the palace. Everything, and when he woke up in the morning, there were sweet fragrances in the air, so he never smelled anything foul. Everything around him was orchestrated for him to have a sweet life. But he was curious. He was like, and he snuck out the palace and he started seeing the sufferings. He saw a young person grieving for a lost one. He saw another person aging. He saw the 3 phases of life, and it's like, how is it that this is happening? And I didn't know about it. But why is this happening? Why are people suffering like this? Why is there so suffering in the world? He's like, I don't accept this. And then he went into that deep inquiry about what is suffering? What is suffering? Why is this happening? Why is suffering in the world? He was looking for a deeper meaning, because just to see on the surface, it wasn't clear. So he went deep And he himself suffered deeply. He was on the brink of death when he was enlightened, moved into the enlightened. He had his realization. He was almost dead. And he realized, he went through all these different things, and he said, life is meaningful. Life is meaningful. But we have to understand the meaning of this life. And who are you? Who are you in life? Who are you in this flow called life? What is your purpose? What is your being? Why are you here? And he realized we need a practice. We need something to keep us stabilized, to be able to move and navigate. When we shift our mind from this is bad to this is part of the program, part of the journey, I would look at my suffering. I didn't finish my point on this. And being an athlete and a martial artist or something like that, you got to go through something challenging. If you are a weightlifter and you want to gain more muscle mass, you have to get resistance, right? Without it, you can't build muscle mass.
Nope.
If you're training as a martial artist, you need to get hit a couple times to understand, I'm going to block that next time. I'm going to be a little quicker about that. Or I'm going to move out the way, right? You're going to learn from that, right? And the thing about it, if you're in that realm, you understand it so well, because you said, I signed up for this. But when we're living just life, we don't think about it. You know, one Buddhist monk said to me one time, he said, in comfort, there is suffering. I'm like, what? Is this a riddle? Is this a riddle? In comfort, there is suffering. So he's asked me to reflect on it. And I came back to him. I said, I said, in comfort, there is no growth. If you're seeking for comfort, you will not grow. And I assure you, test it out and you will see for yourself. One of my favorite movies, and I assume that maybe here all of you already watched it, The Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah.
See all that suffering that Neo went through?
Woo.
To understand that he was the one?
That he was the one. Yes.
He even lost his sight. The other, right? And then he realized, I am the one. He had to go through a lot of suffering
to wake up.
He realized it a little bit, and this is like our intuition working for us, dodging them bullets, you know. And they're like, how did you do that? You move like them. He's like, I don't know. He gave up the idea for a second that he was separate. And then he realized, I'm one. I'm one with everything. This is the flow. The flow will get you to the point that you will realize that you are truly one with everything. This is no longer a concept, a religious context. It is beyond all that. When we breathe in and breathe out, and we focus on that reality, we will understand and see for ourselves, oh, we are truly one with everything. And when we get to that realization, then we will be moved along in life in such a way where we start to grow, and we'll start to move in such a way we start to demonstrate with others, like in such a way where it's like beaming light and just shining, and people are like, what are you doing? I'm in the flow. Are you?
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
I'm going to start saying that from now on, David, because I get that a lot. So I'm going to start saying that.
Oh, what great timing. You got a great hug there.
Oh, yeah. My healer. She's such a good one. To all of you guys listening and watching, hugs for you, and feel it, because it's so warm. It is so warm and amazing. Thank you for resetting the energies. The fairies are resetting the energies for us.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Zoe, our beautiful queen. She is a hug healer. A hug healer, and she gives them all the time.
Wow.
All the time. And I look forward. I'm coming to get one in real time. Oh wow. I don't want this. Well, it never ends. We say that. It just doesn't. Just life, it is a continuation. Remember that. Remember that. It's a continuation. Because what has a beginning has an end. And we are part of the collective. We have always been. And we're learning this more and more. How one we are. How we're connected. We are bound by cords to every other living thing. We're all one. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for blessing us, coming here, sharing your wisdom, giving to us that fire that we need. Because everyone is working this out, right? I feel you all out there. I feel you all. And we have been so blessed, for we have the wisdom being shown to us, right? And through our own experiences. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you so much. It is that time. It is after 9. Yes, you all heard my alarm go off and I was like, oh my goodness. But we must have you. We must have you back. And I know I share the sentiments of everyone here and our audience. And all of those who are seeing this on replay later. I know that is going to be one of the things that you say as well. Remember, hashtag it, replay, tell us your comments, your questions, your concerns, and we will read them, we will reply to them and make it a part of the show, and we will send them to David. You also have his contact information, so you can actually get in touch as well, you know, and his story, he's like, yes, yes. So we're first thing that we're going to do is, Jesse, can you pull a card for this auspicious day? Can you pull a card for this blessed day? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He was already celebrating. She was like, yep.
He was saying, yep, I'm in it. I'm in it right now.
Wait,
She's like, oh my goodness.
Tiffany said, okay, so what are you doing tomorrow, David?
I know that's right.
I am being in the flow, so all things are possible. Happy Saturday.
Yes, hey, come to the party. We have our dance party. Oh yeah, Tiffany says
So
yes.
my response is, what is the request?
Oh, Tiffany.
That was great, David. That was great. I'd be like, okay, what do you want? What do you need?
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
I can't just be like, yeah, you gotta share.
I want to share with you, David, that Tiffany said, thank you for this, David. You are speaking life into me today. And so many of us, I'm sure. Yes, yes, Tiffany, absolutely. Oh, wow. Our queen. Oh, forgive me, David. What were you saying?
No, I said I am grateful. I am grateful to this opportunity, and just that's what I'm here for.
Praise Allah. I see that our queen has picked this. Queen Zoe has picked the card.
You're gonna pick 2 or 1?
Whatever the universe says. Oh, she's telling her what the universe. She's giving the instructions right now.
She's excited. She's excited. I was like, are you excited? She's like, yes. This is the first time she gets to do this, so she's excited.
Oh,
well, in actual cards.
There you go.
So I asked the angels, is there anything that they want to share? Is there anything that they want, any final words, any final, for the audience now in time, in ancient time? What is it? So yeah, I knew that was what Tiffany was gonna ask. I said to come to the show tomorrow. Live.
Tiffany says coming back to the show tomorrow. Yes, she is.
Be careful, boo. So the card that came through was yes, and yes. And the angels are saying yes. Yes. And the answer is yes. proceed, go forward, achieve, enjoy. Don't hold back.
Mm.
The time is now. Rise up, fly high, lit up, express yourself, experience, share. All combined with all the message of everything that's happened today. Go with the flow, boo. Like the angels actually flying, going with the flow and like dancing and yes, like I'm flowing right now. Like yes, let's go. All we want is for you to flow. All we want is for you to say yes. And then we just fly. And then she's in the back like this. Express yourself, experience, share. This part's a huge thumbs up. If you're making a decision, the answer is yes. Go for it. This is the time for positivity, for celebration, and progress. Angels are encouraging you to let it in the light of enjoy it. All of your hard work is paying off. Any indoors projects and opportunities before you now are getting the green light. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. If you're being holding off for the right time, the time is now. And you're being encouraged to take the next step. You're good to go. If you're feeling scared or worried, it's okay. Invite help, like David said. Invite help, and help will come. Angels are there to guide you, and they want to be a part of your success. So relax and experience the joy that is unfolding in front of you. Thank you, guys.
Wow.
Thank you so much, spiritual team. You are on fire like always. It's like a mind blown. I don't even know what to say. I'm out of words. From last night, from today, from exactly how the conversations was gonna go. This is why I put myself on mute, guys, because angels showed me some stuff and I'm just like, what? And then they're like, what? You weren't ready for that, huh? Yeah, no, not at all. So yes, going with the flow is definitely that. So I am so thankful. David, thank you so much for this day. This is like, one day you will understand why this is so big for me. And Jen and Dee and everybody that is watching, but this is at another level that I only thank my spiritual team for it. So thank you so much.
Oh, praise Allah. Yes. David, you are our guest. This is a time where you have last words to our audience. Word, Minnie. I know they want you to go for it.
They want you another hour at least.
They want you another hour. So your last word has to last for like 30 minutes. Let's go. Go.
So I was encouraged to share this from yesterday in preparation for today from my guides. So I'm going to share this story. And I invite you to come and journey with me in this story. We're going to do a little time trial.
Oh, yes.
We're all getting ready. We're like, okay, yes. We're ready.
All right. So in 2005, I took a journey to Peru for 21 days of silence. It was a spiritual journey for me of an awakening into shamanism. And I actually had the opportunity to be with an elder shaman and a younger shaman. And I was told that I was to go by another shaman before I went to Peru, that I needed to go to the Grandfather Mountain. And they were like, I don't know where this place is, but you got to ask them. So I asked the elder, and he says, how do you know about this place? And I said, this shaman told me about it. They said, it's a real place, but it's not going to be easy. I'm like, okay. He said, it's going to be dangerous. All right. And he said, but I'm going to give you a blessing that you have safe passage there. Only the shamans know where this place is, so you have to be taken there by a shaman. And so we took a 7.5-hour arduous walk on the mountaintops in outside of Cusco. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. There was one moment where I almost lost my life. I could have slid down the side of a mountain. That's where you get the preciousness of life, when you realize I could have died. When I looked down there, my foot slipped and I saw those rocks, I'm like, And the shaman, because I'm in silence, I didn't say anything. The shaman, he looked at me, the younger one, he looked at me and said, "Papa," and he grabbed me. So remember, somebody's always watching. And I'll continue. So we get up in the top of the ridges of the mountains. We're up there in the clouds. And we're about 12 to 14,000 feet above sea level. Earlier, I talked about the air being thin. It was super thin. And I was gasping for air. And it was hard to even walk because of the thinness of the air there. Even though they prepared us, it was still challenging to breathe. And I remember every time I was feeling super tired and like, this is hard, the young shaman would he'd turn around and look at me in my eyes. He says, "We're almost there, Papa. We're almost there." And this happened several times. I remember the last moment where he said this to me, I felt like I was about to collapse. He said, "Papa, just around this bend here, we're almost there." And because I was in silence, all I could do is look at him with my eyes and acknowledge with a blink. And I knew he saw it on my face that I was out of energy. I was spent. And I turned and I went inside this, what I call a portal. And we walked inside. And it was as if I was in another world. It was a valley on top of a mountain, and no human interaction, no buildings, no structures, no nothing, pure Mother Nature. I remember seeing a cow and a horse at a distance. And I'm like, how did they get in here? And then they were gone. So I don't know where they went. I guess they climbed back out of the area. But I remember that was the only living creatures that were walking in the area. And the whole place was precious. It was as if this place was there, obviously, for thousands and thousands of years, untouched by human being. The grass was pristine. I want to paint a picture. The grass was green, pristine. When you step on it, you heard it crush underneath your foot and spring back up because it had life in it. It was slightly moist because of the dew in the air. When you looked up into the actual mountain top, you could see there was another 2,000 feet to go, and there were the clouds, and just above the other side was the snow on top of the mountains. There was a stream of water coming down the middle of, trickling down, and boulders big, rounded, and stones rounded on the ground. And I remember looking like, wow, this place is amazing. We pitched a tent and it started to rain. And the young shaman said, "What a blessing, what a blessing, what a blessing." The spirits of the mountains are blessing us with the rains. Pachamama, Mother Earth, is blessing us with these rains and letting us know we're supposed to be here right now. This is a gift. We're soaked in rain and we're trying to pitch everything quickly. And then after everything, it became nightfall and the rain stopped and there was silence. The next morning, the shaman said, we have to do a ritual with the water. So he takes us to the water. And I stood there after he did the blessing ceremony. And I remember looking up and everyone walked in their own space. And I just stood there standing in the water, which was ice cold. And I remember looking up and I said, wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was in my heart at that time. And I remember hearing a voice say, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here and bringing all the people from your life here to this space with you at this time. Thank you for all the prayers that you've made on this journey to be here right now. We welcome you. We also understand that you want to know about abundance, and we're going to share with you what is abundance. Abundance is something that you do not have to work for. Abundance is something that you don't have to do anything to get. Abundance already exists. It exists for everyone. All you have to do is become still and receive. They said to put your hand into the water and drink. And I drank. Put your hand into the water again and drink. I did. One more time, put your hand into the water. And on this time they said, do you know where the water is coming from? Look up. Do you see where it's coming from? And inside I said, no, I don't know where it's coming from. Look down in the direction of where it's going. Do you know where it's going? No, I do not. Drink one more time. In this space, you are experiencing abundance. You do not need to know where it's coming from, nor do you need to know where it's going. All you have to do is be present that it is here right now and drink with the knowing that it is there. I remember in that moment, the energy started to vibrate so strong. I was moving with such gratitude in my heart. I started to vibrate and tears started to come out my eyes. Because not only did the answer come, it was embedded into my being. I felt it. I knew it was real. And then I started to walk in the silence from that blessing. And as I placed my feet on the earth, I was barefooted and I felt the vibrations from the bottom of my feet touching me in my heart. It felt like electricity vibrating. Then I hear this voice, the most sweetest voice I've ever heard in my life. I heard the voice of Mother Earth. And she said, I am Pachamama. I am time and space. And anything that has ever happened inside of time and space, I know. Anything that you ever want to know that has ever happened inside of time and space, you ask me and I will show you. All you have to do is become silent and still, and I will show you exactly what is there. And in that moment, I was saying, what is this place? What is this place called Grandfather Mountain? And then she revealed to me, as clear as I could see the sky and the mountains and the water. She asked me to close your eyes and see. And then I did. And in that moment, I was taken back into a time where the water flowed in such a way it was up to my chest. And I could feel the sensation of the water on my chest. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, wow, it was real. My feet were in the water. My body was in the water. And then she said, listen. I heard stillness. And then I heard the mountains, which they say in Peru is called the Apus. The mountains said, thank you. Thank you for coming here and hearing us. Thank you for your prayers and thank you for your being. We appreciate you so much. We have a message we want you to share. I want you to think about us. Think about this valley in your meditations. And what you're feeling right now was once the water that was in this valley. You've already seen that the waters are round. And that is because this whole valley was filled with an abundance of water. That's why the rocks are round. That's the only way they're round. They said the water has depleted because of the actions of human beings. They have cut off the flow of abundance, and therefore it's only a small trickle of water. But we want you to hold us in your meditations, and we want you to remember us and see the water rising up again in its fullness. And then they paused. And they left me with this one message. we miss our reflection. Right after that, Mother Earth said, my dear son, I want you to share this one message for my sons, wherever you are and wherever you can. Tell my sons that I have forgiven them. I have forgiven all of them. The only thing I ask of my sons is to return home. Thank you.
Wow, David. Before the ladies go, first of all, thank you for listening to your guides and sharing this story. Because I seen this place in my meditation, and I've told the story to certain people, and they said, oh, that's impossible. There can be such a place. Same when I share the stories about the Himalaya with people. I've been to the Himalayas in my meditation. And when I share that, people are like, you never presently been there. I say, yeah, it's okay. My body will catch up to it. I'm so thankful that you share that, because it has so, like I said, meanings that we can. Yes, honey.
You do like this?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. She's saluting to Mother Earth. So it means so much. Thank you so much for everything. Like, yes. Ancestors, I see you, I hear you. Thank you so much for this beautiful gift.
David, thank you so much for being here with us. I mean, you have graced us with your brilliant essence and all of your wisdom and experiences and everything that you've shared with us today. You know, you brought us through an amazing journey. An amazing journey. You have everybody crying on everyone's commenting, talking about I'm crying, and Amanda's talking about now you got me wanting to go to a forest looking for places humans haven't touched. I mean, you know, you set us all on fire. You literally have hit reset in a lot of people's lives today, and I greatly appreciate you. And I'm crying. I was there. And I was with you when you were, I mean, you were going through suffering, and then that little one kept saying, Papa, we're almost there. I put it in the chat. I told them to affirm it and to know that you're almost there. Don't give up, guys. You're almost there. And the abundance, you don't have to look for it. You are abundance. It's there. Never give up, and just give it away. You dropped so much today, David. Yeah, you coming back at least 5 or 10 more times.
Yes,
you know
yes.
what? Friday just might be your day.
Yes. Oh my
Let's just
goodness.
claim that.
Sure.
Today is David's day.
Today is David's
I
day.
was born
Yes.
on a Friday.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was born on a Friday. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. I thought I got it together. Praise Allah. Praise Allah for his blessings. Oh my goodness.
And are you excited that the ancestors send you for your walk yesterday?
I tell you
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, sisters.
Our brother.
You know, Angela and I, we've known each other since we were little.
7. Yeah. Little one.
And I've just gained
Wow.
gained 2 more sisters. Thank you. Thank you for this day. I've been gifted. This is abundance in action. This is what I live for, the flow. This is it. I want this to be everybody's experience and everybody's story. I want everyone to have us to sit around and share stories like this about our journey, our lives, and we feel and vibe like this. This is it. This is what I live for.
That's all. Yes.
Woo.
Everyone, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take it all the way up to your crown chakra. Hold it there. And release. Let's do that again. Hold. And release. One more time. Take a deep breath into your crown chakra. Feel the light pouring in. Hold it there. And release with gratitude. We pray that everyone continues to have a blessed day, full of upliftment, love, light. Know that every intention that you have set for yourself today is already done. It's granted. Trust and surrender. Get silent. Feel your heart. We speak to intuition. That is the divine speaking to you. It's touching you. Listen. Get quiet to listen. And trust and believe. Know everything is going to be all right. That was my favorite saying as a child. It will come to my mind all the time. Everything's going to be all right. The Spirit said, didn't I tell you? Everything's going to be all right. No, everything is going to be all right. Oh, praise Allah. We pray that everyone continue to have a blessed day full of love and light. Woo! Love you all dearly. Woo! And we will see you tomorrow. Peace and blessings to everyone. Love you.